Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing how to design a winning pitch deck. So as in my last video about business presentations and Shark Tank type competitions, I covered that what all you should have in your presentation for a beginner's level. So in today's level, we'll be advancing a little bit more and discussing the slide style and the visual guide area. Like what should be the visual hierarchy, layout principles, colors to use, and how to turn data into charts and icons and simple visuals without being boring or exact copy paste of Microsoft Suite. So basically today I'll give you a full walkthrough using a real deck as an example. I'll be using this Rent-A-Fit deck. So let's get into it. These are a few examples of a bad slide. I haven't exactly made it. It's a template. So basically again, this is a very templated slide. There's no visual interest. You don't know where to look or even if you want to look. So basically it's like icons are there, but a hierarchy is still very generic and it's a very default template banner. So like immediately someone sees it and they are like, okay, let me zone out because मेहनत तो करी नहीं इस पे. Same goes for this one. See, now this shows the data clearly, but this is something like you would want to read through it. But why would anybody want to look through it? So visual interest is something we still need to work upon. Like this is better than before. It has real stat cards instead of a paragraph, but it's still very generic. So how to upgrade your presentation? This is the cover slide. So basically see, from compared to the previous slide, this is where we have worked upon. We have created the same image, the sari image, but we have put it in such a zoom that it's now making the visual hierarchy. And then we have used this blue and white color themes. Why blue and white? Blue is and white is just to establish the authority and to even show that we are a reliable brand while we pitch ourselves and maybe look a bit corporate while also keeping the brand's identity integrated. So Rent-A-Fit, we are the tradition, not the burden. Then we have the other information like it's based in Delhi, India. It's a seed stage pitch. Who are the founders? What's the website? And launch year. This is another one of the cover slides. This is like a second cover slide if you don't want to diverge all that information. It's basically used all models. They are wearing the clothes that Rent-A-Fit actually like gives on for renting, and another tagline. And this is a more futuristic tagline as we have all young people in the background. The future of Indian fashion is access. Affordable, premium fashion, rental platform making high-end clothing accessible and sustainable for the youth. So okay, now basically we have hooked on you on that. Okay, now you have somewhat idea what the business might be about. And see, so the visual interest is very clear that the text part is blurred, so you would see there. But then again, all the clothes and all is pretty enough that you would want to look at the slide for long. Executive summary. Now this is one of the most make or break slides going further. And what all to cover in it? So I have covered the unique value proposition, market opportunity. By market opportunity, I'm not really happy the way this slide has covered. Traction, the problem, our solution, company and vision. For the market opportunity part, I have a better slide. We'll be going to it in some time. But just look at it, how the lehenga is shown, and then again it's shown in absolute detail to show that Rent-A-Fit is not only just affordable and accessible, but also the sustainable ethnic wear. So sustainable, we have shown that it's very handcrafted and it's very premium quality because again, we have given a very zoomed in sneak peek. This is the problem slide. So see, now the problem is there, but we have put it out there like in the actual problem it is. We haven't written okay, this is the problem. The problem is very kind of easily visible. There's a bill, there's a lehenga, there's this Instagram feed. So let's see what the problem is. Wallet drain. A 50,000 lehenga worn exactly once and the bill is behind it. Astronomical costs of premium wedding and festive wear. College students and young professionals are priced out. Purchasing leads to immense unsustainable clothing waste. Also, the other problem is outfit fatigue. The slide is divided into 50% into both the problems, and both the problems are equally the cause of this startup being incorporated. The Instagram tags. You cannot repeat an outfit because एक बार story लगा दी, एक बार post कर दिया, अब you need something new. So do you see that basically the slide basically follows the principle of show, don't tell. So that's why you have shown the problem, not told. And yeah, one thing that this is a slightly advanced level than the beginner level, and use such slides only if you have your script thorough, because in this slide you can't really read much. So we think ना okay कोई नहीं PPT पढ़ देंगे, इस PPT में कुछ है नहीं पढ़ने को, so you really need to do your homework if you are taking this type of presentation. But for competitions and for winning decks, this is a very good option. So another one of the problem and solution slides. The fast fashion vending machine creates an unbearable financial and environmental burden. That's the third problem, the sustainability angle. So financial drain, environmental waste, and social pressure. And then obviously we have got our quoted data in the data cards. But again, compared to the previous template, you see what we have done with the background. The background still has some texture and nuance into it. There's this sari drawn on the left. There are some geographical lines and analytics down on the right. So, and again, we have run some survey and we have used this one line as the main statement, which is also the quote and the summary of all the three data points. That is, bought a 1.5 lakh lehenga for one sangeet, now it's gathering dust, and repeating outfit kills confidence at ethnic events. So this also strengthens our problem slide. So it's like same narrative that's continuing through the slides. This is one of my most favorite slides because see what's happening here, that we are showing that the two facets and demographics and demand, and where does this business exactly originate. So the Indian wedding ecosystem, that is a massive, globally unparalleled $50 billion industry, multi-day events, because obviously there's a big fat Indian weddings. We have Sangeet, Haldi, reception, Mehndi, and requires distinct premium non-repeated outfits. In fact, આજકલ they also have color-coded weddings. And then again, there's the youth demographic. Massive population of college students, young professionals, they're digitally native, trend conscious content creators. So would they really repeat an outfit? But again, it's unsustainable and costs too much. And anything that does has that two features, generally stays away with it. Or maybe just splurges on it and then maybe calls it girl math. Or maybe even Gen Z math. I mean, girl math does sound patriarchal. So yeah, the sweet spot. High demand for affordable, rapidly changing fashion drives a massive behavioral shift towards sustainable rental model. And this is where the business solution comes. That's where the sweet spot and the solution. We haven't used rent to fit here. We have just positioned rent to fit here without using the name. You see what we did there? So now this is again a core data slide, empowering 10 million youth with an augmented reality powered ethnic rental platform. Again, so see, this slide again has a lot of data, but you can't just simply read through it. So you need to know your content before using such slides. I really like how we have used the mobile phone and the app version. Click how the dress would look on the app, moving users from 10,000 plus single wear purchases to rupees 300 also. 1200 augmented reality powered rentals. So the idea where we had used is that the clothes you can have a digital try on, because then it's not a regular rental. So you can digitally try these clothes. And again, this is backed by some primary data that we have used 75 beta users in Delhi. It has 85% repeat rate, 40% growth month on month. And the ask is that raising 20 lakh rupees seed on a targeted 10x growth. This is the entire customer journey shown. I also have another variant of this slide. I'll show it to you and you can choose maybe which one fits for you. See, in the background on the left, we have used a ethnic border. On the right, we have used the digital scanning so that we could do the augmented reality try on thing. So now Curate is like any other customer platform. You go, you see your feed, you choose, then you try it on. Then you have an AI stylist feature, which is also tells you matching jewelry, accessories and stuff to go with it. And once you confirm your order, celebrate and return. We have also added that we would partner with Dunzo and Delivery to do this, even though Dunzo isn't anymore. But yeah, like back when we made this, then it was a feasible solution to propose. This is the second slide. Again, here also we use a feed type thing. Then again, we don't have the try on in this slide because we again weren't very sure of it. So this was made a pre-version before that, but I liked it, so I kept it. And then again, we show that how you can track it and how even the owners can track it. And then calendar based system, easy schedule, one click pickup. And obviously the company handles the dry cleaning and maintenance. Again, see, even here we haven't done much with the background, but the font is very clear and easy to read. Even if you don't read the steps, it's visually clear and there's this drape going on between them. And the background isn't still all completely white. There's this gray patch or accent coming up to maybe add some texture and alleviate the whole slide. See, your premium wardrobe is simple, bold, black. But cloud, when we say cloud, it comes in blue because again, we are talking about our business here. We are taking ownership of that word. So now, acquiring the youth market with low CAC. Again, here we have ethnic motifs in the background without being a very strong or very intimidating. So a strategic go to the market approach. So basically how it will go viral. We'll have digital influence, social proof and on ground dominance through the college circuits. So again, we have used this web chart sort of thing to show it. The goal is keeping customer acquisition costs CAC exceptionally low through high visibility organic social sharing. Again, we talk about all and just look at how balanced the spider chart, not exactly a spider chart, this is more like a web chart, I'll call it. Yeah, how web chart is. And again, we use the phone icon here and the college building icon there, basically to represent the two things we are going to do for both online and offline. And also we have added this rent-a-fit virality logo here especially. This is another deck we have made on that. So I have multiple versions and I've mixed up some slides to just to show you that how a better presentable slide looks like. So this is like the pivot from inventory heavy to hyper scalable. So what is the traditional model? And that's why the traditional model purana ho gaya, it's not working anymore. That's why it's faded in gray. Whereas Rent-A-Fit again uses this highly textured jewel maroon tone because again it goes with the girl's outfit, and because obviously a lot of ethnic wear looks really good in maroon and golden to give that regal and royal vibe. So asset structure, buying and owning inventory is problem, high capital expenditure, high inventory, dead stock risk, scaling speed is slow. Whereas coming to the Rent-A-Fit model is new because again, pure marketplace, exclusive MOUs, capital expenditure, we have zero capex, inventory risk zero because we are going to basically the plan here was to be licensed from with boutiques. That's why boutiques are bearing the risk, and anyways those clothes weren't really earning them income. So that's why they'll tie up with us. And scaling speed is hyper because again we are a marketplace. Like we are the vision was to be the blanket of ethnic clothes. Again, this is like the next slide from that previous deck only. And again, see we have used a jewel tone, but for the visual hierarchy, we have used a lighter tone than the background so that the border and the heading lines really pop. And that's why even the dress code here is different. Like we have used more beige, green, and blue here. So where we talk about the three pillars, that is instant capacity growth, zero damages liability, and market opportunity. And even then, like even if you don't want to read it, you just like, hide the text. You could see the pillar, you could see the investment thesis that it's built for national dominance. And even if you like don't look from top to bottom and try and look from bottom to top, you'll see conclusion is that asset light, high margin, fast scaling model. So the keywords are stuffed in the right places, the right things are bordered on, boldened, and zoomed in, and used a bigger font to give you both the visual aspect and the analytical aspect without looking dry or boring. A continuation to it, the aggregative engine. So again, we use dark background in two slides, so we don't want a visual fatigue to come in for the reader. So that's why we again use these ethnic motifs. We again have the maroon, but this time we use a complete contrast white background. Again, while we are very clearly representing the four modes using these icons, that is the multi-tier logistics, digital booking, boutique sources and packing, centralized returns, and QC. And again, the model stands there with her outfit in the box also that she is going to use to return. The infinity loop. So flawless execution and the operation, the infinity loop, that is the tech stack and the physical logistics. So again, we could have usually again talked about it like the two core, two pillars, two thumbs and something. But as we had already used the pillars one here, because it's just two things, we use this infinity loop design where we again show that there is the tech stack and there's the physical logistics. And again, we have the models everywhere because again, it's clothes, and clothes without models look really dry. So we have tried to use the models on a lot of slides. And again, they are all in very rich clothing, and we have used rich colors. You see Indian dark blues, haldi turmeric, the yellow, like turmeric yellow, and even rich maroon, gold, even a very textured and beautifully embroidered silver you could see in the right. The circular economic model. So what is the circular economy model? Rent, return, rent again. Though I'm not sure why is exactly the girl and guy renting the same clothes, but I guess that's AI. But yeah, see, we have used these banners to show that Rent-A-Fit, sustainability, what is the core value proposition, cost effectiveness, monetization for owners, asset light. So even if you are not wanting to read and just someone's just saying it, kind of get the idea what the business is very clear. Or maybe what's the circular economy for the business is going to look like. This is another of the same circular economy model, but we had also combined the unit economics with it. Again, you see the models and the entire app grid in the background while we show the unit economics through the simple graph. But again, see the graph is also done in a neon glaze over the white background with a sophisticated yellow and blue. See, this is what I was talking about in slide 1. That to show that the total accessible market, total service accessible market, service OM, I'll have to check back that one. So yeah, basically that how the market can be penetrated through this three-tier core system. Like there are circles and they're all concentric circles. So exactly like what's the market, what's the growth rate, where we can reach, how we can capture via digital app in 3 to 5 years. So I believe the font size here should have been bigger, but the visualization wise, see the sari is used as a background. So even if you're manually doing it and not using AI, this is something pretty doable. And again, see we have used these gamified level checkers to show that exactly how many people are there and how much maybe we can capture them. And and again different colors and all rich Indian colors, because again we are talking about Indian ethnic wear. So they have we have tried to stick to the color palette quite strongly, though we are using, I'm using slides from multiple decks, but I hope you get the theme what I'm talking about. High margin reuse cycles. So again, see, unit economics, we are doing it again, and this time it's very data heavy. But even then we have this ethnic background motifs there in the background if you see clearly. And then there's a revenue mix. We cover the numbers, the numericals, and I don't want to dive deep into it because I'm really out of touch from this when it was made. So I really don't recall what all it was. But you see the color typography is still kept strong. This is my favorite. So anytime you want to show that how you are going to penetrate, I believe like the map, use a heat map, use this type of spot and identification map, because it looks really pretty and again gets your point across without being very data heavy. So we had this phase wise Excel table while we were making it. So then we basically just put into the slide using this India map. There's this sari borders in the background and phase 1, phase 2 shown through these arrows. Again, a table is always the best to go to when talking about competitors and basically this unorganized sector. Again, we have the organized competitors also in the next slide. But yeah, the stick and cross table does work quite well, though I feel it's taking a lot of space. Like if I had to present it, I wouldn't give it an entire slide, maybe just a section, but again, do it clearly. But you see again, the models are there in the background. And again, there's this purple and yellow, blue and yellow to purple and yellow taken boldly, and again, gray for things that are irrelevant right now. Again, this is the organized marketing analysis. So you again see the sarees on the left, texture on the right. So you see that there's a common template being followed, while every slide is still new in its style and visuals. Like you would still want to watch it. It's not an eyesore. And again, we have this yellow, we have some purple. So you need not use all the colors in all the slides, but excuse me, but at least stick to a color palette. Again, this is also a very rich slide taken from another slide deck that we made. So we had a lot of versions. And this is also like if it were to look a little bit more regal, because the girl on the left looks like a princess in this heavy lehenga, where we talk about a go-to-market strategy, that is the phase 1, phase 2. So this is also one way to show it, because apart from the map, if you don't have the map and are really wanting to keep it concise or have a slide constraint. Again, unit economics covered in more depth, and this one again we have this girl in the lehenga. This is also made from the same prompt, by the way, and we use a waterfall chart instead of a bar graph, because again to not look repetitive but have a clear-cut math given on the right with the correct things bolded, and key insight in the bottom right, because like if you just are very tired, you could easily see the heading 42% net margin scalable to 50% key insights. And this is, we were also asked to introduce the founders, so I have removed picture of my partner as she's not doing this. So yeah, basically I was playing the CMO because obviously marketing is my thing, and she was playing the co-founder and CEO. So we added what exactly our achievements were, who are we, and the plan. The teaming plan was that we would advisors, we will have advisors, we'll have get a due textile professor and some rental industry veteran, and we'll have a 2027 target that we pitched. But again, using real photographs or real models adds authority to the slide. And again, it's clothes, and simple clothes might not look sober or might look repetitive and just new patterns. That's why we have used extensively preferred to use models in this deck. Again, this is the year-on-year growth chart, though this was a scrapped slide. But again, see, the yellow, white, and navy blue or the violet is kept consistent with the right things boldened out. And the graph is big enough that it's easy to read without being monotonous or an eyesore or taking too much attention to read. Again, we repeat the ask, that is 20 lakh seed or at the rate 1.5 crore pre-money valuation. I don't recall much of the data. So again, what is the risk and mitigation? So again, we have a table structure, but the table is again has made in neon backgrounds. We have the yellow, we have the purples, we have the green text because the risks are taken care of. And again, there's a sari background. So you see that the slides are repeating, but not in a non-monotonous manner. Anticipating Indian market complexities. Again, we get the models, we get the color scheme. We have a table, but again, the table is not jarring to look at or a simple black and white table. An extensive use of icons. In fact, icons you could easily find on Google Images, and there are a lot of cool apps for the icons. And I used 2 AIs for this, 2 or 3, I don't recall. 2. There is Notebook LM. We use Notebook LM. Yeah, Notebook LM. If you have your business research done well, instead of just teaching can also make very good presentable slides. And the second we used, it's called Let's AI. I'll put the link to both the AIs in my comments. You can find them and use it for our next deck, and whatever your feedback has been, please put it in the comments. And this is the final slide. So you see that how white becomes the less dominating color and all the richer textured color comes back. The models are out there in all their glory, looking dapper. As we say, we are more spendless. The future of Indian fashion is access, not ownership. Again, giving out the business vision. We are making luxury sustainable, affordable, and accessible for the next villain. Also, take care that the heading "We are more spendless" is written in this 3D font to look out and pop out more amongst the many models. So let's stay clear that the messaging is, while also looking beautiful and bringing on some visual interest. And then there's this Rentifit button so that you can again be taken into the Rentifit app ecosystem. So I hope the slide's been helpful for you. And also for more such breakdowns and ideas and presentation ideas, marketing campaign decodes, do follow me on my YouTube. And if you have been following my YouTube for long enough, you just check out, you'll find out that I also have a WordPress blog where I decode marketing campaigns at depth. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm there. And Instagram, there's all the reels. I post regularly on LinkedIn, or maybe as regular as I can be. So yeah, let's see you there. Bye-bye. Also, just wait a second. So I also had this another slide planned for the last part, but again I wasn't really convinced with it because of the too much white space. But even this one is a good like way of showing that again the girl is wearing a sari and there's this heritage background. So basically again we are the traditions, we are getting the tradition part through the background, but also the tech part, as you can see the pop-ups out there. So I hope this video has been helpful for you, and my slides do inspire you to make beautiful presentations, so that next time anybody asks to make the presentation, you don't say nahi yaar mujhe to nahi aata. See you till then.